Welcome back to Amateur Football Takes. Today we will be talking Real Madrid versus Atlético, the derby of Madrid. Highly anticipated game. I was looking forward to this game for the last 2 weeks. Thought we were in for a real thriller with Real Madrid really facing their first worthwhile opponent of the season. I think they're getting all kinds of props for, having one of the best starts they've had in years with 6 victories so far. But who cares, right? They didn't play any worthwhile team. And really in those victories, they squeaked by. They showed, moments of brilliance. But overall, nothing to be confidently excited about. And I think they got exposed today. Atlético de Madrid absolutely exposed this Real Madrid team today, and I think there's so many things that went wrong. Before we jump into all that, let's talk. I just want to highlight 2 players on Madrid. I think the few positives that we had today. I want to highlight Arda Güler. I think he was one of the few players that showed up with some confidence, with the desire to get the ball, being an outlet for that back line, trying to progress the ball forward, trying to make things happen. Obviously, he had that assist to Kylian Mbappe and that goal off that Vinicius assist. Which was not easy. Ball in the air, calmly slotted that in. I think he showed a lot of character today, so I want to give him props there. Kylian Mbappe obviously coming up huge with that goal. Not an easy goal. Takes that beautiful little touch with the outside of his right foot and then calmly slots the ball in the bottom corner. He is on fire. His finishing is impeccable right now, and I think he's been showing up for us time and time again when we need him. I mean, that goal today really shifted the momentum of the game. The beginning of the first half, Madrid looked lost. I think they had something like 3 attacks versus Atlético's 12, and they looked non-existent. So that was much needed there. Now let's get into a rant about everything that went wrong today. I'm fired up. I'm disappointed. Was pacing back and forth the whole game, standing up, yelling at the TV, and just not what you wanted to see as a Real Madrid fan. I think we'll start tactically. I think Xavi got it wrong today. I'm not sure what his vision was for this team. I think pulling Bellingham in to the starting lineup was a mistake this early. I think he showed he probably wasn't in shape enough. I don't think he's gotten that game speed decision-making back quite yet after being out for so long for injury. And I think he looked lost out there. I don't think he knew what his role was. I think the whole midfield was disjointed. They weren't on the same page. With the exception of Güler, I mean, nobody wanted the ball. Let's get into a little bit about what I saw there. I think we saw Vinicius and Mbappe initiating the presses that front 2. With Bellingham being the third person that's supposed to help with that press, make sure that they're not getting the ball out of the back line. Really a role that we saw Luka Modric play for so many years as a true box-to-box midfielder helping with that press. Bellingham wasn't able to do it. I mean, he could not do that today, and I think that caused Fede Valverde to step up. I think Fede started stepping up to try to help the press there on several occasions in the first half. But I think ultimately what that led to is a huge gap in the midfield with Vinny, Mbappe, Bellingham, Fede up. And then it seems like Tchouaméni's gotten direction from Xavi to fall into a back 5, which is really something we haven't seen Real Madrid traditionally do. Obviously, that's been popular now in modern football to have your holding mid drop into that back 5, really as like a third center back. But what it caused today is a huge gap. We had frickin' Güler by himself in the middle of the park with Tchouaméni in the back, and we basically said, go ahead, Athletic, go ahead, cross the ball in as much as you want, and then we proceeded to lose all those challenges in the box, which was just ridiculous to see. I mean, it was super frustrating. I think the first half was a very open game, something that Athletic hasn't been known for in their past and in their culture, more of like playing into their working class side of the city. We're going to hold back. We're going to have 11 players behind the ball. We're going to play the counter. We're going to try to squeak out a 1-0 victory. Not today. They were playing open. The game was very open. And I think with the Real Madrid midfield just totally disjointed and not on the same page. It played into their favor, and Real Madrid showed no control of the game in the first half. I think we were lucky, quite frankly, to have a player like Kylian Mbappe that could come up and finish, and Güler coming in clutch too, to get those first 2 goals, which really could have been a very different result in the first half. I think the back line was scared. I think Carreras had a bad game. I think Hausen had a bad game. I think Tchouaméni had a bad game. I mean, that goal that they scored, he literally does not jump. Sure, you could say maybe the Athletic forward pressed up on him a little bit, but it's because he doesn't attack the ball. Like, if he's going to sit back as the third center back, we need him to have some confidence, some presence, show some aggression in the box and win those headers, which, for a man of his physical stature, he's more than physically capable of doing. I think Madrid got lucky with that handball, that goal that got called off. I mean, quite frankly, if he literally just didn't put his hands up and the ball hit him in the face, that ball was probably going in. He was wide open. Same thing there. Militao, Tchouaméni, Hausen all stepping up, and then he's completely by himself there on the backside of the 6. So while it was probably thrilling to watch as a neutral fan the first half with all those goals, it was quite frustrating as a Real Madrid fan, obviously conceding that goal right before the end of the half. And then second half, I think, was a much different game. I think Athletic scored 2 set pieces, which, the penalty, we could argue Güler, sure, he touched the ball first, but at the end of the day, they're going to call it a dangerous play. And then that fantastic free kick from Julian Alvarez, putting them up 4-2. But what drove me crazy is we still had 30 minutes to make things happen. 30 minutes for Xavi to make changes, make tactical adjustments, which he made some changes, obviously bringing on Mastantuono into the game, and Rodrigo. I think, and Camavinga. I actually think Camavinga did a decent job wanting the ball, trying to be that link up from the back line, trying to play out and progress the ball. But either way, I think what drove me crazy is we had 30 minutes to make things happen. We know Atletic's going to sit back. They're up 2 goals with 30 minutes. They're going to play 11 players behind the ball. They're going to go into almost a back 6 and cram players back. And Real Madrid is just passing the ball around the outside. On the left-hand side of the field, we have like 5 Real Madrid players trying to play short between Rodrigo. I mean, our freaking center back Hausen's up there too, with Carreras, with Vinny, with Mbappe, all on the same side trying to make things happen with no space. And we don't do anything different. I mean, I think tactical error. We probably should have brought in Gonzalo, a player that could have caused some damage, caused some challenges in the box, throw some crosses in, get our center backs up, and make things happen. I mean, I think we got 1 or 2 crosses in, and they were poor services with like 1 player in the box. I mean, we got 30 minutes to make things happen. We know they're going to sit back. We either need to try to take some long shots. We need to show some patience too, right? But we need to whip some services into the box. Get Hausen in. He's a freaking giant. Get Gonzalo in there. Try to make things happen in the box. Score a header. And do something different. I think they really just rolled over and were like, well, they're playing 11 people back. We don't really know what to do. We don't really know what to create. And they just looked totally lost. I mean, I don't know what they think is going to happen by having 5 players on the left-hand side of the field, trying to make something happen out of when there's no freaking space. But extremely, extremely frustrating to see. And then obviously that 5th goal, I mean, error by Fede Valverde. And I mean, he's a player who I'm one of his biggest fans. But I think he really had a poor match today. I think he looked lost. I think he also, someone's got to tell that kid he's got to learn to play positive sometimes. I mean, all he does is pass the ball right back. He's never going to turn. We know that, though. We know that's not what we're going to get out of him. And I really wonder if having 2 center mids that are more defensively oriented, Tchouaméni and Fede, makes a ton of sense. I mean, they're not players that are going to control the tempo. They're not players that are going to want the ball out of the back line. I mean, we would play the ball out of the back, give it to Carreras or Carvajal, who had no one in the middle. I mean, no one. They would play some hopeful 30-yard long ball up the line, trying to hope that Vinny can make something happen with a guy on his back. And even if he would manage to keep possession, there's no one offering for him to lay the ball off, maybe play a 1-2 with someone in the middle of the park. And it was just extremely, extremely frustrating to see. Hopefully this game is the wake-up call that Real Madrid needed to show that they need a lot of work. Xavi, you got to go back to the drawing board, man. We got to figure out what we're going to do about our midfield, how we're going to play them, what strategy is going to work. What do we need from Bellingham? I think Bellingham needs to be a true box-to-box midfield. I think, he had that breakout season with Madrid where he scored all those goals, and he thinks he's a striker now. But that's not what we need. We need a midfield that can control the tempo and gain some control of the game. We don't have a Modric and a Kroos or a Pedri or a Xavi that's going to control the tempo of the game. But we at least need a midfield that as a collective unit can know when to slow things down and speed things up. I mean, they would get the ball and then immediately lose it within the next 20 seconds. But yeah, overall, just extremely disappointed, extremely frustrating match to watch. Hopefully, as I said, this is the wake-up call that Madrid needs, because if they play like this against Barcelona, we are in for another tough season. But thank you for joining Amateur Football Takes. I will see you on for our next episode. Take care and have a good day.